This is Sparta!
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Happy friggin' Saturday, you weekend warriors, you filthy animals. It's Saturday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and you know what that means. That means that from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, we're live, baby. And welcome in, one and all, to yet another Saturday live stream. I'm excited. I'm stoked. It's the weekend. You know, the time we get to kick back and do all the things that we said we were going to do. And then inevitably the weekend drifts away and it's Monday again. But in the meantime, we can fall down the rabbit hole together. We can discuss this hobby, the knife hobby, the EDC world. We can check out new stuff. We can see what's in everybody's pockets. Shout out in the chat. What are you carrying today? And if you are a member of the members only Discord, even better yet, pop a picture in the members only Discord pocket check. I don't know what you're doing, guys. If you haven't joined that yet, please join the fun. I love chopping it up with all of you guys. And if you ever felt like, hey, I would love to see what Rolls is up to randomly on a Saturday, I do respond to messages there, which is funny because that's like, I've mentioned it several times. If you reach out to me on Instagram, chances are you probably won't hear back. I don't do a whole lot on Instagram these days. I'll post some stuff here or there. I'll post some pictures that I'm proud of that nobody will see because Instagram hates me. Instagram is not a fan of knives and EDC. No, they see it as weapons. You know, if knives are by default a weapon, what does that make chanclas? If you don't know what a chancla is, look it up on YouTube. You will find some very entertaining videos. Guys, I'm happy to see everybody. I don't know if my setup is working correctly, if everything is working correctly. Hopefully everyone can hear me. I think everyone can see me. Anyways, enough of my monologue. Let's go ahead and start saying hey to everybody in the chat. Starting off with Mr. C. Kobe. Thanks for being a channel member. Excuse me. He says, I tried to be the first in the chat. Maybe next time. As far as I can tell, on my live chat, you are the first. So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but that's the way it looks to me. What's up, C. Kobe? Welcome in. Welcome into Bluetooth Blades, another channel member in the house. There's Marco. How's it going, Marco? Shout out to Andrew Lyons. Welcome in. Welcome into the Night's Edge. What's up, Neil? He says the Rolls Royce shampoo. Oh man, thanks, dude. It's good to see you guys. Make sure to check out the Night's Edge. Go to his channel. If you enjoy the content, subscribe. I am past a point in my YouTube phase where I just say, oh, go and subscribe to so and so, because a subscriber only means something if they stick around to watch. Something that I learned early on in my, I won't call it a career, but in my journey on YouTube, was YouTube apparently, when someone subscribes, they then look to see what that person does next. So if you have like a friend or a family member that has a channel and you want to support them, but you don't really care about what they're posting, do them a favor. Don't subscribe just to be nice, because what will happen is you'll go and you'll be like, oh, here's another subscriber. And then you never watch. YouTube says, what is this channel doing? Their subscribers don't even want to watch. It's why I don't do channel rates anymore. Because the moment I found out that actually hurts people, I was like, shout out the channels, tell people to go and check them out. And if you enjoy it, then subscribe. Subscribe if you're going to watch. Interesting statistic while we're on the topic. I was looking at last month's numbers, like how many people watched. Were they new subscribers? Were they old subscribers? Did you know that out of about 70,000 views from people that watched my channel last month, 50% of them were new viewers? 50%. We're making waves, guys. That means that 35,000 people that had never seen the channel before tuned in, and that's actually pretty cool. You know, you compare that to bigger channels, and they're like, I do that in a day. It's significant to me. Anyways, what's up, Neil? Good to see you, man. Shout out to Dolomite. Welcome in. Welcome into Mind of Milton. Good to see you, brother. Welcome into Ed B. Thanks for being a channel member. We've got, hold on, Jim Miller in the house. What's up, Jim? Good to see you, man. Thanks for being a channel member. Hold up. There's JoJo. Welcome in. Paul Mills, another channel member in the house. Dolomite says the anticipation is killing me. I let the intro roll for like 5 or 10 minutes while I get stuff set up. Just give people a chance to filter in, and also because I feel kind of awkward talking to a screen when nobody knows that I'm live yet. It's already awkward for me talking to the camera and saying stuff like, "Oh, it's good to see you guys." Because while it is good to see you in the chat, I don't physically see you. I see me. And so it's kind of like I'm talking to a mirror. Anyways, welcome in. I'm glad that we're finally live. Let's go. Days D says the stitch on the screen could use a different clip. I agree. In my defense, when I took that photo, the clips for that knife were not out yet. Now, I am one of those people that loves swapping out pocket clips. And Lynch Northwest has a few that I really, really like. We'll check them out during the live at some point. Maybe, hopefully, if I remember during the live stream. But what I really want to do is get a set of titanium scales for that stitch. I would love to. Ed B says roll is a tease. I do what I can. Whatever gets the blood pumping, right? What's up, Craig Vincent? Good to see you, man. Welcome into what's up, dude? We got Ron Crow in the house. Good to see you. Todd Carr, what's up? What's up? All right, come on. Dolomite says appreciate the late starts. Just got off work. You know, I like hearing that. Some people tell me, why don't you start earlier? It's my bedtime. To which I say, just lurk in the background. We will serenade you to sleep with knife talk. Plus, I hear that that's a winner in the bedroom. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Ed B says, roll shave his head. I got a haircut and I went for like a low fade. I was getting shaggy. Okay. And I'm a big time procrastinator. So for me, like I go short because I know that I'm going to put off the next haircut for like 2 months. And it always grows like it wants to be a mullet, but nobody else wants it to be a mullet. And so I cut it really short. I wear hats all the time anyways. So it looks like I shaved my head, but I did not in fact shave my head. We're not quite there yet. We're not at the Jason Statham look quite yet. What's up, Rainey? Good to see you. Welcome into Greg McCutcheon. Thank you for being a channel member.
This is Sparta!
Guys, if you'd be so kind, Spartan, kick the like button. Let YouTube know that we're live, baby. What's up, Ace Palon? Good to see you, man. I keep trying to say Ace Pellon, and you corrected me once in a live stream. You said it's pronounced like Palone. Ace Palone. What's up, man? Welcome in. Welcome into Wes Gibson as well. We got Roman M in the house. What's good? Let's see. Is saying that he's carrying a Moraniv fixed blade. Nice. I hear that those are like the cheapest, best wood crafting knives that money can buy, and that they're so affordable that if you break one or lose one, it's not hard to replace, but they're really good cutters. Don't they have a really good Scandi grind? I've never owned one, but I might have to fix that at some point. Let's go, Lone Star Cowboy. He's carrying the Hogue X5. Excuse me. He's carrying the Hogue X5 manual 6-hour Scorpion Edition 3.5 CPM 154. Very cool. I like what Hogue did with their Sig Sauer model lineup, where technically they're under the Sig branding, but they're made by Hogue. We all know that they're Hogues. They're made in America. They're very, very, very nice. And they're not priced like benchmades. So there's that. I like Hogue. I want to see more from them. Andrew Lyon said I carried a bottle of NyQuil all day. I'm sorry, man. Sounds like you were going through it. I hope tomorrow is a better better weekend day for you. Hold on. I'm so far behind in the chat. It's just jumping on me. Matt D, welcome in, brother. Thanks for being a channel member. He says, chanclas are my mom's weapon of choice, etched in my childhood. And they're always accurate, right? Like, you could be halfway down the block, but if you didn't take the trash out, as they say in Spanish, vaya con Dios. Let's go, Vavelsky. Good to see you. Thanks for being a channel member. Love seeing all the channel members in the chat. Let's go, Sonny Robinson. Good to see you. He said he carried the Case Sodbuster Jr., the Case Mini Trapper slip joint Saturday. Very cool. All right. Hey, shout out to Jim Miller, who gifted 5 channel memberships.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Thanks so much, Jim, and congrats to the 5 new and or returning channel members, which includes Rainey, Todd Carr, Ron Crow, Dolomite, and Chris229. Congrats, guys, and welcome into the new / returning Spartans. Good to see everybody. Welcome into David V. Thanks for being a channel member as well, man. B Devious in the house. B Devious. All these sound effects that I rarely use, and all of a sudden they're just popping out of everywhere. Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Let's go. Dan Stan EDC. Good to see you. Welcome in. Hold on. Ace Palone says, I got a new knife today. Before I did a cut test, I wondered to myself, is this sharp out of the box? Too long didn't read. Anyone have a Band-Aid? You know what they say? It's not yours until you cut yourself, and once you do, you have to name it. So the question I have for you is, what's the name of your new knife? What did you name it? Welcome into John Blackman. Thanks for being a channel member. And shout out to Ian Coates, another channel mod in the house. He says, this is the Praetorian fanboy circle jerk, right? I mean, I love the knife. I love the knife. I don't know if I'd go as far as to call it a circle jerk, though. Let's not be hasty, okay? Let's not be hasty, Ian. I know what Ian carried today. I'm guessing it was either a Tri-Stash or a Sebenza. Just guessing. Welcome into Jason Carlos, his first time viewer here. Welcome in, Jason. Welcome to the rabbit hole where we talk about EDC knives and sometimes random things that just pop up in the chat because I can't help myself and I just click on chats all day. What's up to Nick T? Thanks for being a channel member. He says, they come for the knives, they stay for the raisins. No, nobody stays for nobody likes raisins. People say they do because they know that I am a raisin hater. Raisins will infiltrate a really good cookie, and it always happens when you're at somebody's house, and once you take a bite, it's not polite to just put the cookie in the trash and be like, oh, my bad, thought it was chocolate chips. Apparently people like to take a perfectly good grape and leave it out long enough for it to start tasting weird, and the texture is off. It's a personal preference thing. It's not an attack on people who love the raisins. Maybe just a little bit. Okay, let's go. Autumn Wind, welcome in. Good to see you. Hold on. Vavelsky says, should we make it a Zoom meeting? That could get out of hand. That's how people get fired. Just imagine the HR people showing up like, that is not approved attire. There is no HR in the members only Discord yet. I've considered making some people not channel mods, but Discord mods. I've been considering it. I don't know. We'll see. We might have to do that, and we'll hold an election in a live stream. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Ian says, you can't handle the clip. Maybe not. What's up, Mike Upchurch? Good to see you, man. Welcome in to Help with Gadgets as well. It says, howdy, folks. Says 3 a.m. here in Europe, still studying for my exams. Well, good luck. Hopefully we don't distract you too much. I hear that those are important. Lone Star says, bedtime. It will be sun up here soon. I always forget that people watch the channel from all over the world, which I think is actually rather cool. If you are in a different country, let me know what time of day or night Is it where you are right now? Ed B says, hey, Ian, what did Cole cut his forehead with? Did Tri-State cut his forehead? I might have to go back and watch some of his videos to see what happened. Gas Station Knives Forever, thanks for being the channel member. He says, I was told there would be free raisins. You guys are awful. There will be no raisins. Although I do have some. You guys remember when we hit 10,000 subscribers and I brought out a box of raisins? I still have it. I would say that these are questionable, but they can't go bad because raisins, by definition, have already gone bad. Will I ever finish that box of raisins? No. I refuse. I refuse. Ian says, pretty sure Roll won't read my greeting. I do every time. Every time, Ian. He says, right now I'm carrying the Glencairn glass full of Freedom liquids. If it's not a Mezcal margarita, I don't know what you're doing. He says, Roll's cracking when he talks about circle jerks on stream. It could just be that I have a dry palate. Stay hydrated. All right. We're rolling. I think we're almost to the... Nope, we're not even close. Hold on. He says, check out his Chris Reeve knife video today. If you're going to cut your forehead, I mean, it might as well happen with a legendary knife, right? From a legendary maker, legendary company. You could cut yourself with a lot worse knives. Craig says, no carry for me today. Still recovering from heart surgery, but I posted what I carried around the house in the pocket check. Dang, man. I hope that your recovery goes good, man. I know that those can be rough. Never had one myself, but I do know of people who have. So I'm wishing you the best, wishing you a swift recovery, and I hope that everything works out just peachy. And we'll get to your pocket check once we get to the members only Discord. Ian says, Lone Star says Ian has his tactical fingernail cleaner handy as usual. Is that the Milwaukee Fastback? That is the true legendary carry. Let's go. Maroney's Moron says raisins in a savory dish is bad manners. I don't like raisins. Like I can tolerate it if they're there and they're mixed in with so many other flavors. I can't tell that they're there. Example, stuffing. Thanksgiving stuffing. The few times that I've tolerated raisins have been when they've been like incognito in the stuffing, and there's so many other good things, so many other good seasonings, you know, herbs and such, that I can't tell that they're there. And then I get a hint of texture and I'm like, wait, is there raisins in this? And then I start picking them out because once I know, it's all downhill from there. Hey, shout out to Ian Coates for the $5 super. Says, I'll take the role of HR for Rollski. You know what? I think we should hold an election. We should hold an election for who should become the first Discord mod in the live. You know, let your vote be known. There will be no electorates here. Every vote will count. The question is, who will the people vote for? I think that could be fun. It could also be a disaster. Jim Miller says it's 9:14 in Alabama. It is. So you're about an hour ahead of me, and I'm about 4 minutes behind in the chat. Dang. Drinkwater says in Soviet Washington State it's 7:14 Pacific time. Very nice. Jim says I've been told it's a foreign state. I've never been. I'm sure it's a lovely area. I see your pictures. It looks like you guys got some good weather over there. Hey, shout out to Blue Minotti Ninja for the 5 gifted. Thanks, Blue, and congrats to the new / returning Spartans. That would be Bob Rutledge, Mike Upchurch, Craig Vincent, Brian, and Bone Cell. All gifted memberships from Blue Minotti Ninja. Blue, thank you so much for your generosity, for supporting the channel, and for becoming a Spartan yourself. Guys, Spartan kicked the like button from my man Blue one time, who's not only a big supporter, he's also a channel mod as well. What's up, Blue? Are you going to be joining the election for Discord mod? The very first ever? I might just call that position the sheriff. A publicly elected official. Doesn't give out speeding tickets, but could, unless it's an election year. We could have terms. Channel politics. I'm here for it. Oh, man. Anyways, Blade Shooter G says, did Tri-State's cat scratch his face? There's a lot of chat going on about this. Stephen Clayton, welcome in. Good to see you, man. Let's go. DanStan.edc says, carrying the Kubi silo and the tops cut 4.0. Very nice. I love the Kubi silo. I only have one issue with the silo, and that is it's a front flipper, but it's not very good at front flipping. And I mentioned that in my video review. And then the knife designer actually commented and said, I wanted them to send me prototypes. So apparently Kubi took that design and they ran with it. And James, the designer, didn't know how that had come out until they came out with the model. And apparently he didn't get any prototypes of it. I think for not going through a prototype phase with the knife designer itself, the knife came out great. 14C cryo treated, titanium handle scales. Come on, it's really good. Ian says, who else is running against me? I don't know. For it to be an election, there has to be competition. It just has to be. I might not do it during this live stream. I might just throw it out there in the members only Discord. We've been talking about it, guys. We've been talking about the members only Discord. What is it? Where can you find it? Well, that's a great question. Bang. This is the members only Discord, and you can find it by going to my channel and going to the posts section. It used to be called the community section of my YouTube channel. Channel members. Doesn't matter if you're a gifted member or a regular member. There are posts that only channel members can see, and one of those posts is an invite link to the members only Discord. That's how you get in. You don't have to stay a channel member to get in, but if you leave, you do have to be a channel member to get back, if that makes sense. Ian says, so far I'm the only candidate. And here's the best part. Ian didn't even volunteer for this. I voluntold him. Like, keep acting up. I'm gonna make you sheriff. Better watch out. Responsibilities. Hold on. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything before we get into some pocket checks. Welcome into Ron Dobbins. Good to see you, man. Sonny Robinson, welcome in as well. We got Stonewall in the house. Says country can be pretty. That's about all. I grew up in a rural area, and some people are built for it by default. Some people leave and come back. Some people leave and never come back. Having lived both rurally and now in the city, I can tell you that there are things that I can appreciate now that I couldn't appreciate then, and vice versa. There's a lot of benefits to living in civilization. There's also a lot of downsides. Like when you live in the middle of nowhere, you don't have to worry about somebody breaking into your garage to steal your stuff. You live in the city, crackheads are very, very persistent types of people. I'm just going to throw that out there. Let's go. Hold on. Ian says, maybe I can't be trusted with power. It's often best handed to the people that want it the least. Bluminati Ninja says, do I get a badge? I mean, I'm kind of a noob at like the whole creating moderation in Discord, but I think I might be able to make that happen. I'd have to look into it. Do you get a badge? It might be a metaphorical badge. Ian says, I want to run against Ed B and Bluetooth blades. We could probably make that happen. Ed B says, great leaders don't seek it out. They have it thrust upon them. I agree. Blue says, I swear to serve swift justice to violators. We might have an election here, guys. Ian Coates, Illuminati Ninja, Ed B. None of which have asked me for this at all or have agreed to do it even if they get elected. I might thrust it upon you. I kind of feel dirty saying that. Let's go. Bluetooth Blade says, I take it back. Throw Bluetooth blades in the mix. We might have an election day, guys. That would be a fun live stream. Ian says, I am the only and best choice. We can act like it's an election, but I've already assumed. Sounds more like an insurrection than an election. Jim says, rural close to the city is ideal. Yeah, I'd agree with that. You know, rural enough where you get the nice scenery. You don't have people living on top of you. You know, you can go outside and be alone. You know, fun fact about living in Colorado, and I did not understand this. I moved here like 11, 12 years ago. You know, everyone hears about Colorado and they're like, oh, the Rocky Mountains, the great outdoors. You can go into the Rocky Mountains and, you know, you see these scenic shots, right? You know, the Hanging Lake and all of these amazing places. And when they take those pictures completely alone and there's nobody there. And then you decide to hike to those places and all you see is more and more and more people. Don't move to Colorado for the Rocky Mountains unless you're okay enjoying them with literally everybody else at the same time. Dog-friendly trails. Everybody else's dogs are on those trails. There's choke points. Anyways. Ron Dobbins says, Rolls, I just picked up the Urban EDC Micro Shrike Knife. Oh, congratulations. That one looks sweet. I've never handled one, but I've heard good things. Ian says, I am sheriff. I serve the people. I don't serve to have a badge. You might get one anyways. It's, you know, it kind of looks like we've got some dare I say, some campaigning in the chat. This could be good. Let's do this. Hold on. I'm going to start a poll. And all right, guys. I just started a poll in the chat. Should we have an election live stream next Wednesday for Discord Sheriff? We'll vote on this and then we'll vote. If it gets voted in, we'll hold an election for the Discord Sheriff on Wednesday's live. How about that? And that way, people that watch this after the fact, you know, if they want to be a part of that, they can. They'll have prior warning. And then I'll, of course, have time to look into what that actually looks like. If I can give out a badge, I think that'd be cool. Hey, shout out to Night Rare. Thanks for being a channel member. Gas Station Knife says, when do you move to Idaho, Rollshambo? In a few months. I don't have a set date yet. I just know that it's happening. But it is happening. So I'll be leaving the highly populated state of Colorado, the Spyderco capital of the world, and I'll be moving to a much less populated area of the country, which I am actually kind of happy about. It's still civilization, just not, you know, the city. Or at least like this city. Jim Miller says Colorado has been overrun by Californication. If it was just that, it would be one thing. But no. Colorado has been overrun by people from Texas, people from California, people from Oregon, lots of people from Washington, for a number of years. Remember that Colorado was part of the first group of states to legalize a recreational substance that I'm not going to say on the live stream because I don't want the live stream to get taken down, because YouTube would 100% do that. Ask me how I know. I just know. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, because of that, people moved here from everywhere. I'm a transplant too. I moved here because I wanted to be in civilization. I wanted more opportunities. But we got a lot of different people from a lot of different states, but primarily California, Texas, and a lot of the Pacific Northwest areas like Oregon. Stephen M says, Rolls, keep your eyes out for bears. I used to live in Idaho for a while, so it's going to be a bit of a return to form for me. I'm familiar with the area. Bluetooth Blade says, no vote for me. I shall take power. All right, Caesar. Just watch out for Brutus. Hey, welcome into Tom Cook. Thanks for being a channel member. He says, yep, the treasure of Sierra Madre. I don't know what that is. What's up, Sean McLaughlin? Good to see you. Ian says, Roll is from the state of pots and pans. I don't know what that means, Ian. Jim says, my buddy just moved back to Idaho. He loves it. Yeah, there's a lot of great things about Idaho. You know, I don't think that any state is truly perfect. I don't think that a single state in the union is truly perfect. Every state has their bugaboos, right? You just have to pick the one that makes the most sense for you. Blue says, I'm going to back out of the race. I already have worked at a juvenile corrections facility once. You guys would drive me to drinking. Remember, the best leaders are often those who have the position thrust upon them. Renee Ramon, welcome in. Good to see you. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and hit up the members only Discord pocket check. And starting off today with the Pawns, he's got the Cold Steel 8010 and the Kaiser Cormorant with the titanium frag pattern scales. Very nice. We got Kaleidoscope of Knives with the knife that he told me what this was in the last live stream, and I completely spaced it. I mistakenly said it was a Tuya Wolf. That is not a Tuya Wolf on top. It's not a Tuya Wolf on top. I think the one below it is a Brian Brown Jaeger M, I think. Right? Yeah. With custom scales. Here we go. Bluetooth Blades. He's got a nice lineup right there. I see the new Troodon, the new combat Troodon. Looks like a, love this knife, by the way. He's got a TRM Neutron with the titanium lizard skin handle scales. He's got a Hinder XM18, very nice. The One Track Mind Ire, the Ramlock Microtech Stitch, the Spyderco Manix 2, and the Quiet Carry Drift LCT. That is cause for celebration because usually I don't get all of them, but I'm positive that I got all of them in that one. I'm positive. Matt D, he's got a lusty photo here. People are starting to up their games in the pocket checks. I appreciate it. I love a good photo. Look at that. You know what? We're gonna zoom in a little bit. Yeah, let's appreciate that gorgeous Chris Reeve Zahn, and then of course a Chris Reeve small Sabenza 31. 21 has holes in it. Ask me how I know, or at least I should say a hole in the handle scale. Let's go. Drinkwater. He's got Hinder XM18. I don't think that's a 24. No, it's an 18, 3.5 inch. He's got the Spyderco Little Native Warncliffe and the Spyderco McBee. Cute cat in the background. Very nice. Let's go. Craig Vincent. Fresh off of his heart surgery. He's got is that a Cold Steel Swift 3? I see Swift 3 on it, which is why I can recognize it. I think Cold Steel does that. He's got an Ontario Rat 1, Spyderco paramilitary. That's paramilitary 2, right? Salt. I see a bit of a handle scale and a bit of blade back there, and I think that's going to be a lightweight Mannix 2. He's got the Kaiser Phoenix. He's got a nice Cold Steel 8010 with what I'm assuming is titanium handle scales, and of course the Mangana Steel Kaimano. My carry today I carried 2 knives. First and foremost, it's never far from my pocket, okay? I love this knife. This could be a true one and done knife for me. It's the Drop Point Umnumzan. Specifically, I love the Drop Point. There's a lot of people that love the Tanto version. For me, it's the Drop Point version, that beautiful double harpoon. And then, of course, on mine, I added the Lynch Northwest flat top 3D milled pocket clip, which I think is a perfect match for this knife. Super fun. And then, of course, I also carried this beauty. We got this one in the house. This is the Machine Wise Mojave Machinist Proof number 28. Love this knife. And in the last live stream, I couldn't get the flipper tab to work at all. Some people said I was nervous. You know, reviewing a knife live is kind of an experience. I don't know what it is. I don't know if maybe the detent just broke in, you know, as soon as the live stream ended. But as you guys can see, I have no problem using the flipper tab now. In the last live stream, I said that I wish that the flipper tab had jimping, and I stand by that. I understand why they don't have jimping on the Sonora, because the Sonora is a plunge lock design. It doesn't have a traditional detent. You don't have a lock bar that you can accidentally put too much pressure on. This is a frame lock. At least give me fine step milling on the flipper tab. I'm going to do a regular piece of content on this knife. When will that come out? I don't know. I want to do it justice. How am I liking the knife so far? Love it. Freaking love it. And just so everybody knows, if you're trying to get in line for one of these Mojaves, Machine Wise is releasing these at 12 p.m. every Saturday. That's Mountain Standard Time. So that means that if you're in Central Time Zone, let's say you're in Texas, that's going to be 1 p.m. If you're on the East Coast, that's going to be 2 p.m. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, that's going to be 11 a.m. So if you want one of these, Machine Wise is producing as many of these as they can, and I love it. I got to say, I really do enjoy it. If you want one, check their website out. Don't rely on their notifications, because their notifications are awful. I've signed up for notifications on multiple knives, and they've never once emailed me saying that something was in stock. Never once. And apparently I'm not the only one. Go to their website Saturday afternoon. If you want one of these guys, they're releasing them. They are selling out. So how long will they be available? I have no idea, but if you want one, you should be able to get one. That was my carry today. Chris Reeves on and the Mojave. Let's go. Rainey's got a cadre of Padres. Let's see what I did there. We'll move on. It looks like that is 3 compadres and 1 padre. Is that like is that like a father and his children? Or is this one on top also a padre, and it's just the angle that makes it look like it's smaller? I think it's 3 compadres and a padre. A cadre of Padres. That's what we're going with. Very nice photo, too. I love what you did with that wood background. I'm telling you, people are upping their game in the pocket checks, and I am here for it. Greg McCutcheon, he's carrying the Mannix 2 lightweight. And then, why do I always get this? I always get this wrong. It's not a Capara. It's not a Dragonfly. I should know this. I'm a big Spyderco fan.
Epic fail.
Nice carry. I'm sorry that for some reason this knife here on the bottom is eluding me. It's not a Capara. Or maybe it is. Let's go. Nick T is carrying the Custom Knife Factory. Evo 3? Is that an Evo 3? Dazed has this one, and I looked at this earlier when he posted this earlier. I have no idea what this is. I love that. I love the acoustics on that. That looks great. What is that? What is that? Why am I having a hard time identifying it? Help me out, chat. The Pons is carrying a Tri-Stash. Here we go. Tri-Stash is in the house. David V also carrying a Tri-Stash, and then what looks like a small Sebenza 31. B Devious has got the AD10, and it looks like it has some original goat scales on there. I think those are original goat scales. That's got to be the titanium scales, right? And then a Hinderer XM18 directly below it. I like it. One Sneaky B, he's got the Oz Machine Company Roosevelt, and then another machinist proof edition Machine Wise Mojave. I like it, man. It's got the fine stepping on there. He's got the laser pattern blade. I haven't actually like held one of those Machine Wise knives that has that laser pattern on the blades yet. I wonder how well they do that. I like the light wash. I like the light wash because it doesn't quite look like a stone wash where it's like intentional prefab jeans type thing. Light wash is like, hey, we already used this knife before you got it, so just, you can use it now. You got some cardboard, nobody will be able to tell, like if it's been used or not. You can go on Reddit and tell people that it's never been cut or carried with. Not once. Just kidding. That's a hell of a carry, though. Oz Machine Company Roosevelt, Machine Wise Mojave. I'm here for it. Let's see. Rebel Rouser. He's got. That is the Ferromonster. Which Ferromonster is that? They only have like 3 models. I'm failing today. And then a slip joint, which I'm also going to fail at because just like fixed blades, I think that they're cool. I don't have a whole lot of experience with them. All right, Jim Miller, he's got. Jim, thank you for always helping me out. Jim is so kind. He's like, Rolls is never going to get this. He's got the Eutectic EFD, the Tempest Blue Lightning Microburst, and the Ares EDC Bloom Harpoon. Look at that. Very nice. I like it. Well done, sir. John Blackman, he's carrying the Leatherman Arc. I like it. Gas Station Knives, he's got a modified Spyderco Paramilitary 2, and that's going to be, that's a Hoghouse Valley, right? Here at the bottom. I think that's the Hoghouse Valley. Yeah. I almost said Holt. I didn't want to get skinned alive in the chat. Oh, man. Vavelsky, he's carrying... Look at that beautiful photo. Once again, upping the photography game in the chat. I'm going to have to start taking this seriously. Like, when I do pocket checks, I am so lazy. I whip out my phone, and I'm like, here it is, guys. Like, I'm in the living room. I'm in the bathroom. I'm at the, at the park with the dog. You guys are taking much better photos with your phones than I am. I love it. That's a Machine Wise Sonora. Looks like the diamond pattern. I like that color. I do like that color. I would love to get a Sonora. I want it to be the plain Jane all the way around with the diamond pattern. That is what I want. I also really like the way that Machine Wise does the grinds on their knives. The full flat grind. Yeah. It's gorgeous and highly effective. Autumn Wind is carrying the Evo and the Surge Slip 4. Nice. Drinkwater's got the XM18. Did we already go over this pocket check? The XM18, the Lil Native Warncliffe, and the Spyderco McBee. Let's go. Night Rare's carrying the... Oh, man. You mentioned this knife a lot. I know what this is. It always eludes me. It always eludes me. You've mentioned it a million times. I deserve your scrutiny in the chat. This one's a cool knife. Doesn't it have like a marlin hook in the back? I know that it's really good for fishermen, like knot tying. All right, Rene Ramon, he's got the Civivi Elementum. I almost didn't get that. Wow. Civivi Elementum, of course. And got hit with the creativity bug and made myself a beard comb. Patent pending. Very nice. It's not a knife, officer. It's a beard comb. I like it. Well done, sir. Ed Durbin's got the Tri-Stash, of course. Of course. The Tri-Stash and the Spyderco McBee. Very nice. All right, guys. Those are the pocket checks for today. I'm going to check in on this poll. Should we run an election for channel members only Discord sheriff? So far, 83% have said yes, 17% said no. I'm going to let this poll run until the end of the live stream, guys. I don't have any faith that the no's will win. I do believe that the ayes have it. Small and Kosi. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Did I misidentify a small and cozy for a small Sebenza? Well, it might be time to retire. What is wrong? That one looks like a small Sebenza. There was another one, though. There was another one. Oh. Was it this? Was this one the small and cozy? No, that also looks like a small Sebenza. No, that is a small and cozy. Because the small Sebenzas just have the one finger cut out right here, and the Nkosi's come over the top a little bit more. It's been a long day, guys. It's been a long day. I deserve all the scrutiny in the chat. Speaking of which, we're going to go back to it. And I'm going to do everybody a favor, and I'm just going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Ian says, I got roll on that DP's on. I've been searching for one for a while. Ian, of course, never carries his anymore. Refused to sell it to me after showing it off in like a million pocket checks, just silently retires it in favor of the Sebenza. Talk about being a tease, Ian. That's on you. All right. Hold on, guys. Hey, shout out to Ed Durbin. What's up, Ed? Good to see you, man. All right. Matt D says, I keep debating a McBee, but I feel like I don't have a need for it. McBee is a good carry if you want to carry a cutting tool for the utility purpose of it, but you don't want to carry something that has a large profile. The downside, I had a Spyderco McBee and I sold it. But the downside to a Spyderco McBee is that it's easy to forget that you have it in your pocket. It'll live in your fifth pocket, and it'll be so small that you'll forget that it's there. Like, I had a Spyderco McBee for, I want to say it was like for a couple months, and I ended up selling it because at one point I thought that I lost it, and I didn't lose it. It was just inside the pocket that I had left it in. And I was like, if I continue to carry this thing, I will lose it, or it'll get sent through the washing machine, and I'll be very upset. It's a good knife. It is a insanely good 5th pocket carry, and I really like it. It's a great cutting tool. Oddly fidgety for being a micro knife. And of course, it helps that it's, designed by Jonathan McNeese, a very, very great American knife maker. But that was the only issue that I had with it. I don't think Ed Durbin's going to have any issue with his Spyderco McBee. Look at that. The Edyard, he calls them Edyard. The Edyards is longer than the knife itself. So I don't think he's going to have the issue that I had. I also don't do fobs or lanyards or paracord on my knives unless it's a fixed blade. I feel differently about fixed blades. Mike and Ike's EDC, welcome in. Good to see you, man. He says, hey, Roll, get a benchmade. If I was going to get a benchmade, there's one benchmade that I want. Many of you guys know this. It's the Benchmade Mini Adamas with the marbled carbon fiber, and I believe it's either MagnaCut or S90V. Benchmade Mini Adamas. I've handled one of these before, and that's how I know that I wouldn't mind owning one. That's going to be the G10 version. No. $300 for G10. No, Benchmade. Bad Benchmade. Get out of here. Get out of here, Benchmade. Oh, man. Look, G10 is a perfectly good handle scale material. I just don't like the price point on that. Like, for example, this is $375, but this is at least good looking, okay? Marbled carbon fiber. I do like the Mini Adamas. I do. I believe this one's in MagnaCut. Or is it S90V? PVD, flat dark earth, MagnaCut. 60 to 62. It's not the best Rockwell hardness for MagnaCut, but MagnaCut can be properly heat treated anywhere in the realm of 59 to 65. So what you have to think about is what you're going to get out of the steel property wise at 60 to 62. You're going to get better toughness. You're going to get better corrosion resistance. So that's the bonus. You're not going to get as good of wear resistance, which is what most people prize over everything, right? Because a knife's specific purpose is to cut. So it's natural that holding an edge, holding that ability to do its job would be the most important. And if not, just, buy a Spyderco and BD1N. And then you don't have to worry about edge retention. You just have to be good at knife sharpening. But this is the only Benchmade that I have on any list. And it's not high on that list, but I would not mind owning one. This is it. The Mini Adamas in marbled carbon fiber. I'm okay. I'm positive I've seen these in S90V, and I'm positive that now most of them are going to be in MagnaCut. But this is it, guys. This is my Benchmade list. And there's a million other knives that I'd buy before I'd buy this. But it is a knife that I would buy at some point. If everything else, like all other 100 knives on that list, get gone through, that's it. Craig Vincent says, my only Benchmade is a Presidio 2. I know that those are old school, right? Todd Carr says Super Freakin' M4 is the one I'd like to get. I think that's another older model. Drinkwater says I want a 4-inch blade McBee. Oh man, that'd be kind of crazy. Hey, shout out to Kevin Smith and Knives. Welcome in, man. Ian says, when it comes to flying, I'm hyper aware of what is in my pockets. Okay, there we go. Thanks for finishing that thought. You had me going there for a second, Ian. Ed says, there used to be a longer one on it, but I changed it to be a little less. Wow. Wow, that's good. Oh, man. Ed Durbin says, I hate small knives, but some really surprise me as good users. The McBee and the Matzi Striga are two that I love to carry, such great little dinky knives to use. You know, I'm not a big fan of micro knives. Like, I like small knives just fine, especially small knives that somehow give you a big grip. A good example of that is the Devo Mini Growler. It's a small knife, but due to the configuration, the design, I can still get a full 4-finger grip with the addition of a finger choil, which I think is rather cool. Ed Durbin says, you don't want me as a mod. I time people out and get yelled at for it. I'm a bad guy. Here's the kicker, guys. No, anyone who's done moderation before, like chat moderation or Discord moderation, they know it's not necessarily a glamorous thing, because people all of a sudden come to you with their problems. You know, when they have a disagreement with somebody else, oh, you've got to ban this person. You know, you get put in all the drama that nobody really wants to field. Everyone wants to be, you know, in the nosebleeds with the popcorn. Nobody wants to be up, you know, front and center moderating these things. So for whoever eventually gets this position, and it looks like we're going to be holding an election on Wednesday. First of all, for whoever gets elected to Discord sheriff, thank you. But more importantly, good luck. Oh, man. Lone Star says, I will attach a fob to compensate for a 3-finger grip. No other time than a short handle. The fob is only as long as a finger width and will not interfere with closing. There can be some good purposes for attaching a fob, even if it's not to extend the handle. So, for example, if you're someone that, and this is a very specific scenario, I'm not saying that everyone needs this, but I see a lot of, I've seen bushcraft setups for people who go, you know, camping for like months at a time in the sticks, like, and they're seriously camping. They're hunting for their food. They're foraging, you know, they're building their, you know, little wildlife refuge. If you're seriously bushcrafting, this could be a good opportunity, because they'll take a length of paracord and they will tie it into a fob that allows them to carry a long length of paracord that they could then use if they are in a survival situation. That's something that I could find useful. You know, same reason why someone would carry a flint with the fixed blade that has a 90-degree angle on the spine of the blade so they can start a fire if they need to. You know, that's one of those things that makes sense to me. That's a very specific scenario where paracord could just come in handy. You know, having, you know, 10 feet of paracord all of a sudden could be handy. It's already on your knife. Why not? You just untie it and you've got your length of paracord. Renee Ramon says, I'll be a mod. I lay down the law with my kid. I'll lay it down with everybody else too if I need to. It sounds like fun until it's not. Craig says, I met a guy on the river last year who had a $350 benchmade Adira. I had a Kershaw Oblivion. I caught more fish than... Yeah, the fish saw the bait and they're like, that guy didn't pay for good bait. He spent all of his money on the benchmade. That's how it goes sometimes. Gas Station Knife says, if we get to the point where folks need to be banned, I probably will bail. It's easy to block annoying people, by the way, in case you didn't know. It's true. Ed says, most of the time it's to be able to grab the knife when I have gloves on and I'm in a spot where I can easily pull it from my pocket. I'm an industrial maintenance tech. I'm always in tight spots. Oh yeah, being able to access your gear, you know, if you struggle to do that, it kind of reduces the point of carrying it in the first place, right? being able to quickly grab onto something that's hanging out of your pocket versus, digging your hands in for something that might be on a deep carry clip. I could totally see the use case scenario for it. Totally. Matt D says, I'll bring the chocolate to the Discord chats. If you do, you better be accurate. You got to do that weapon justice. All right, guys. Let's see. We haven't done this in a while. We're going to head on over to DLT. We're going to see what they got going on there. Looks like they've got the Rick Hinder No Choil Warncliffe. I don't know why they like this. They could just call it the XM18 Warncliffe. Like, the regular one doesn't have a choil. It's not a bonus to get one without a choil. The one everyone wants doesn't have a flipper tap. It's the flipper delete. And look at all of that availability. The one that I want is the flipper delete version. I like the Warncliffe. I just want the flipper delete version. So those are readily available. Let's go. Oh, they had the mini Arius available, and then those sold out. Those stayed available for a while, actually. The Jack Wolf Knives Primo Jack. Not released yet, but it will be. I believe that's got to be another locking Jack Wolf, right? $350 standard fare for a Jack Wolf. Am I right? That's another locking one. Yeah, it is. So that's not their slip joint. I think that's supposed to be like the little bro Jack, but the locking version. $350. Got some cool scale options. They brought back the after hours Jack. That's right. And those are also still readily available. Ooh, new Pyrotech Kraken with a bunch of different scale options. The entropic anodized scales, $160. Damn. $300 for the Pyrotech Kraken. Black blasted titanium S9DV. This one is $520. What? Is that full DLC? Mirror polished DLC S9DV blade. Black blasted titanium. For 500, I'll say this. For $520, I want the handle scales to be DLC as well. Not whatever black blast is. Like, make the handle scales also tight, like, because this is a Chinese made knife. $520 is a lot for this. Like, I can kind of see it on the $300 versions. Hand satin DLC is $200 less than it is for mirror polished. I don't understand. Can someone help me out here? Why is it $200 less to get the DLC in satin instead of mirror polish? Like, I know mirror polishing S9DV is probably a pain in the rear, but you can get a nice mirror polished Kaiser, also made in China, for a lot less than $520. Is this Riot made? Who makes this? Who's the OEM? Huh. I don't know. The Pyrotech Kraken was one of those knives that a lot of people went nuts over when they released, and I never checked it out. The Pyrotech Kraken fixed blade. This is interesting. $335. I like what they did there with the inlays on that. Alcantara leather, micro satin S35. And of course, swappable scales. Very nice. I kind of like that. I don't know if I like it $335, but I'm not super opposed to S35VN. I just want to know why it's $335. I don't know. The market will decide whether or not it's too expensive. Night Rare says, I see that perfectly clean, bright purple lanyard. There's no way you're pulling on that thing as an industrial maintenance tech at work. It's way too clean. Maybe it's a fresh one. It does look pretty clean. It does look pretty clean. But the blade does look used. Uh-oh, we're inviting scrutiny. Lanyard scrutiny. Yeah, that blade definitely gets used. How you kept your lanyard clean? I don't know. But I can tell that that is a user knife. What else is out there? Where should we go? You know who has some good stuff is USA Made Blade. All right. What? That is crazy. So these sold out. Look at that. That is full titanium handles. That is a crazy anno job. Look at that. That's bananas. Anomascus. I don't know how they do that. That's cool though. Ammo can green, non-flipper buoy. This one's on my list. Maybe not this very specific one, but a non-flipper XM18 buoy is on the list for sure. I'd have to replace that scale though. I'd want to get a full titanium show side scale. Is it necessary? No, it's not. But I do like it. This is one that I very nearly pulled the trigger on. Check this out. $545. It's the Nicholas Nichols 3.5-inch Guppy Frag tie with MagnaCut. So they added a thumb stud. They added a sharpening choil. Here's the thing that I don't get. Like, they added a sharpening choil based off of requests, but that sharpening choil doesn't necessarily look like it actually achieves what it's supposed to achieve. Let me show you what I mean. The whole point of a sharpening choil is to create edge bevel consistency all the way to the edge termination itself. What happens is that the closer you get to the plunge grind, the thicker the metal gets, and so you'll end up with what's called a smile. So if it's done correctly, you won't have a smile on the edge termination because it'll be the same edge consistency from the tip to the edge termination. I explained this the other day to a knife maker, a new knife company, and I was like, please send this to your knife designer because they just did the sharpening choil wrong. There's nothing wrong with not having a sharpening choil. Spyderco is a good example of this. There's nothing wrong with that. Spyderco does an amazing job with their plunge grinds to the point where like they just stop sharpening the edge like at the very last tiny piece that's right before the edge, the plunge grind. I've never had an issue sharpening Spydercos. They're some of the easiest knives in my opinion to sharpen, and they don't have a sharpening choil. But if you're going to put one in, it needs to serve the purpose of why it's there. Like on this one specifically, I'm going to move my mouse up and down. Like the plunge grind is there and it ends right at the edge termination. That sharpening choil needs to be past that point. It needs to be past the plunge grind, or don't do it at all. Just stop sharpening the knife at the plunge grind and don't do a sharpening choil and it'll be fine. A lot of people actually don't like sharpening choils because it provides an opportunity for your edge to snag on material. But I would actually say that most people do actually prefer one. Notable knife makers and designers who do not do sharpening choils: Ramon Chavez, Tashi Baruka. Those guys are very well known. Their customs go for a lot of money. All right. Let's see if we can find another 3.5-inch guppy that's not the frag tie pattern. Like, just show me the plain Jane guppy. Here we go. I thought on this one that we didn't have the sharpening choil issue. Nope, same deal here. He moved it just a little bit too far. Nick Nichols. You just needed to take it just a little bit farther. Is it the end of the world? No. No. And the easy thing to do here is to do what they didn't and to stop sharpening the edge. Like if you're sharpening this knife, because what will happen is if you go to the end of that edge termination, that smile will get worse and worse and get thicker, and it can even get to the point where it starts to cause a slight recurve from the edge termination to the rest of the blade. So what you do is when you go to sharpen this, you just stop. Like you stop right before that edge termination. Will it look funky? I mean, it'll be better. Or you could actually take a file and make that sharpening choil actually functional. Because if you're not going to do that, if you're not going to actually take that sharpening choil to the point where you get edge bevel consistency, there's no point in having it. But I know it doesn't sound like it, but I am actually interested in this knife. This one is going to be the, hold on, I'm going to zoom out here. This one is $4.95 for the smooth tie. That'd be a great option for knife modders. And then the other one is the frag pattern titanium handle scales for $5.45. And I'd probably go for the one with the frag tie. I could have sworn that sharpening choil actually fixed that issue, because Nick Nichols said that he had done it based off of like recommendations. Sharpening choil needs to be bigger, or don't do it. Lone Star says 7:05 a.m. here. Morning prayers are blasting through the neighborhood. The cats are stirring and giving me the look. Ian says, Rollshambo, did your Alpine sell? No, it did not. I had it listed in the members only Discord for $200, and it was a single day option only. I said today only, members only, Discord only, because people had mentioned that they like I've had several people ask me, Rolls, would you sell your Axial Alpine V2? And I said no. And then I decided to just put it up for a whim to see if anybody was actually interested. And how many people reached out? Nobody.
Epic fail.
I get it. We all got bills to pay. Sometimes we don't have discretionary income to spend on knives. I put it out there. The people spoke. Or rather, they didn't, so I still have it. Says, I'm not a choil fan, to be honest. That's totally fine. Totally fine. Ian says, just never use the knife and you're good. Ed B says, Roll's getting frustrated. It pisses me off when the time is taken to mill out a sharpening choil that doesn't function, because that tells me that they don't understand why it's there, that it was just added. Like, there's no point. I think the knife would look beautiful without a sharpening choil. If you're not going to make it function correctly, don't add it at all. You save time. And then at least you can hold the high ground of, well, I don't want the edge to snag on something. And if people really want a sharpening choil that's functional, they can just, mill it out themselves with a file. A lot of people do that anyways. It's not necessarily hard. You just need a file and, to make sure that you've got a good grip on the knife through like vice grips or, shop clamps or whatever. It just ticks me off because like they could have just left. I think that blade would actually look cool without a choil. Just going to throw that out there. Would look cool without one. Would that be enough? Like if I had the discretionary income right now to buy this, would that be enough to stop me? No. C. Kobe says, Discord sheriff, why? I don't know. It might just be so that I can pester people. I can shift management duties for myself. Purely selfish reasons, okay? Purely selfish reasons. I manage a team of people in my regular day job. And when I started the Discord, I had one rule. I said, the golden rule is don't be a dick. I felt like that was a really easy rule to follow. And I've tried to keep, like, there have been some instances of drama that have stayed relatively low key. But I still get the private messages where people like demand that other people get banned. I'm like, well, they didn't break the golden rule publicly. Anyways, I am a big fan of passing the buck. So next time someone's like, hey, you should ban this person because of whatever, I'm just going to point them at the Discord sheriff. Like, there is your de facto judge. Kevin Smith and Knives says, just jumped in another Oz Rosie lottery, about a year's worth. Well, good luck, man. Good luck. David V says, never saw the Alpine go up for sale. I'll show you guys. And this is probably my fault. So here in the members only Discord, there is a spot that's called the Knife Yard Sale. People can post stuff they have up for sale, like knives and stuff. Of course, there is no recourse. So, do this at your own risk. Vet the knives that you're buying at your own risk. Ask questions. Be responsible. I would say that, everyone that's in here has been reliable. I haven't seen anyone post that's been sketchy. But for example, I posted this, and this is kind of low key. I said Discord offer only. This was 3 days ago. Discord offer only. Titanium Axial Alpine V2 in MagnaCut, USA made. $200 shipped. PayPal friends and family or Cash App can send with the pull the dot loops or the original Ulti clip. Good for today only, and includes the titanium bead. I was messing with camera settings on my phone, and I selected like the 200 megapixel option on the Samsung, and so it didn't show a thumbnail, but people did respond to it. And this was the picture. Of course, on my screen, it shows up tiny. What is going on? So yeah, this is the knife. Obviously I backed down the resolution after that, but the damage was done. Okay, the damage was done. Axial Alpine V2, $200. I threw it out there to see if anyone would bite. Nobody bit, so I still have it. Again, it's probably my fault for posting a picture that couldn't have a thumbnail. David V says Roll's Discord is so chill compared to others. Thank you. Dolomite says, Roll, what's your most carried knife or favorite to carry, period? Ooh. My most carried knife. If we're talking straight carry time, like my most carried knife recently, within say like the last 3 months, would probably be this guy. Would probably be the Chris Reeve Unumzon. I try to carry different knives throughout the week. In the last 3 months, because my carry shifts over time, but in the last 3 months, it's been the Unumzon. In the last 3 days, it's been this guy. So my carry shifts. My most carried knife, period, would... This is a tough one because the knife's been so heavily modified that it's changed over time. It would be my Para 3. My most carried knife of my collection would be my Para 3. But I keep modifying it. So the same Para 3, it's not the same Para 3. The only thing that's stayed the same the entirety of my ownership of it has been the liners. At this point, I've changed out the blade. The blade... I did a blade swap, so now it has the 15V blade. I switched out the scales twice. First to get some DNA lasering scales, then to get some custom rock scale design scales. I've added backspacers, I've added hardware. So technically it's the Para 3, but that knife has been so bastardized that I don't know if I can make that claim because I've changed it so much that the only thing that's stayed the same on it throughout has been the liners. I've changed the blade, the scales, the clip, the hardware, everything. And it's been changed multiple times. So it would be my Para 3 overall. But that Para 3 has changed so much, I don't know if that actually counts. Live Survival says, love that rock scale Para 3. Oh, it's fantastic, man. And for those of you who want to know what I'm talking about, I'll pull it out. So this is the knife that has the most carry time. This is my Spyderco Para 3. And you know what? Instead of doing this tiny screen, let's do this. This guy. It has the 15V Big Brown Bear 15V blade. It's got the custom rock scale design scales. So it's purple anno with satin flats. Purple titanium backspacer. I recently added this pocket clip, which is a modular 3D milled fade anodized Lynch Northwest clip, also with the satin flats, purple titanium hardware. I've changed the scales twice. I've changed the clip 3 or 4 times. I've changed the blade, and I love this knife. This knife is fantastic. This is an example of a small knife that carries big. Look at that. That is a finger choil, not a sharpening choil. That is a finger choil. The difference, a finger choil happens after the plunge grind. A sharpening choil happens before it. Some sharpening choils can be used for extra grip, but they're not necessarily intended for that. I love finger choils on knives because it says, hey, we recognize that you need to get a full grip on a smaller knife, right? And I love that flexibility. But this is easily, officially one of my favorite knives to carry, period. It's just had a lot of surgery, you know? It's like the Pamela Anderson of my knives. It's had a lot of surgery. She looks good. She looks real good. Don't get me wrong. But she's had some work done. No Botox. You know, just the good stuff. Love this knife, especially now that it has the 15V blade. Cedric and Ada. Here's a cool thing. I've had some people ask me about the 15V. Is it worth it? Is it not? The answer is it kind of depends on how much you prize wear resistance and how little you care about rust resistance. So for example, it's not just that this is 15V. It's that they're using Big Brown Bear, aka, you know, Sean Houston's heat treat process, which is special. So there's regular CPM 15V, which has really, really high wear resistance, but just like with all steels that have really high wear resistance, it has kind of crappy toughness, right? That's the trade-off, right? And most people by now should know that you need a bit of toughness to give you edge stability at lower edge angles. So Sean Houston's specialized heat treat process allows for better toughness. Now, does this equal anything? It does. It really does. The channel, Cedric and Ada, the guy that runs it, his name is Pete. He does cut tests. And he ran a cut test between a Spyderco with the Big Brown Bear 15V, and he ran it against a bunch of other steels, including K390, and it was insane. It absolutely pimp slapped Maximate. And Maximate is an insane steel, but that added toughness lends to better edge stability at lower edge angles. From the factory, Spydercos have a really nice low edge angle. So when you read the Spyderco listing that it is the most wear resistant cold work steel, that's what they mean. Like they actually mean that. Is it true, or is that just their claim? I don't know. But the examples that we have out there are insane. So for me, I gotta say, like, I'm a big fan of S45 Vienna. Love it. Performs almost identically to LMAX. Also love that. But I had to get that on this knife because I just felt like this knife with these scales, with this clip, with this hardware, and all this work that I put into modifying it to make it perfect for me, it had to be 15V. I wanted this to be, you know, like the pinnacle of Para 3 for me. Love this knife. Love carrying this knife. Most carried knife in my collection currently is this one. Overall. In the last 3 months, it hasn't been carried as much as the Zahn. Which all I've done to it is add a pocket clip and some snail trails. And the last 3 days, the Mojave, which I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek into my thoughts on this after having it for a few days. I carried it today with my Umnums on because I was thinking, I was like, a question that people might have between these two knives is, the Mojave, obviously sought after right now. The Umnums on sought after for a long time. But the Umnums on is $500. It's less expensive than the Mojave. Does this really truly feel like a knife that should be more expensive than this one? If I'm a collector and an enthusiast and a user, does it feel like it's worth the extra cheddar? And I carried both of these today to answer that question. And the answer is, keep an eye out for my review on the Mojave, because that's where I will answer that question. But that's a long answer to a short question. That was the question. Ed Durbin says, "Ooh, Spyderco spider, no." You carried a Spyderco today. The McBee is a Spyderco. Or you could call it the Spider Chode. Ed B says, "Roll, do you have a codependent relationship with your Para 3? I plead the fifth. Life Survival says that clip looks like a nice addition. Oh, man, absolutely. And they make that clip. That's a Lynch Northwest clip. I'll show you guys. Lynch Northwest makes that for several different knives now. You can get that very same clip on a Chris Reeve knife. 100%. You can also get it for ProTech. You can get it for Benchmade. I could get that clip for my beloved TRM Neutron, where I just wish that they had a 3D milled clip. So check it out. You can get that clip for a Chris Reeve knife. That's crazy. You can get it for Benchmade. You can get it for, hold on. And they come in a bunch of different options too. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is also a Lynch Northwest clip, 3D milled. I would rather have this one than this clip for this knife. I feel like this just fits it better. Personal opinion. Now, I mentioned earlier in the live stream that we go here and we check out pocket clips for the microtech stitch. They have a couple different options for the stitch. This one is the one that I was thinking of. It's not super expensive. It's a $27 titanium clip, and it is an improvement off of the microtech stitches stock clip. You can get it satin, which I think looks good. You can get it stone washed, which if you're someone that, beats on their pocket clips, you can get it blacksmith, which I honestly, I don't think that looks bad. I just wonder how long it's going to take to, wear marks into that clip. I would probably go with the $29 satin option. They call this one the aggro clip. Yeah. It might honestly look better on an MSI than on a stitch. Just throwing that out there. They also have this one, which is the standard clip. That's for the MSI though. Will that work for the stitch? It might work for the stitch as well. Wow, they're actually making ultratech clips as well. I don't know, is that really a I'm just going to say this. I love Lynch Northwest for all the hard work that they do. I don't know if that's a big enough improvement on the ultratech clip for me to want to pay money to get one, and then also have to take the glass breaker off to install it. Like, I don't know if that does anything for me on an ultratech. Like, that clip doesn't necessarily feel like an improvement to me. I feel like they should have done something a little crazier, like a 3D milled clip for the ultratech. Then we're talking. Just my thoughts. Anyways, Lynch Northwest has been doing some amazing work lately. I've been considering one of their pry bars. I actually do carry and use a pry bar all the time. My current one is this guy. This is the O-Pry 2. It's nothing super fancy. Like, this is, as far as titanium pry bars go, this is, you know, relatively pedestrian. It's got a bottle opener pry bar. It's got Torx holder. So, you know, it's nice for that. People ask, well, what do you use it for? Because I obviously do use it. Like, you can see the marks on the edge and all that stuff. This works great as a disassembly helper. I've used this as a bottle opener. I've used this as a spudge. People in tech world know what a spudge is. It's very useful. But it's also useful because it has so many different functions other than just a pry bar. But Lynch Northwest makes some cool pry bars. And it got me thinking, like, I was carrying this the other day. I was like, you know, I get a lot of good use out of this. I never thought that I would. This was sent to me as part of a review package from Olight. I want to say it was like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. And I didn't realize how much I was going to enjoy using it until now. So I'm thinking, like, you know what? Maybe I need to up my pry bar game. You know, just one time, get an American-made pry bar to go with my American-made carry. Why not? And they've got some good ones. They got some really, really good-looking pry bars. I like the ones with the clip. I do. Let's see. What was the one I was looking at yesterday? I was looking at this guy with the carbon fiber inlays, but of course they're all sold out. The camo carbon inlays are sick. And I would have never considered buying one of these until I used the crap out of this one. And I was like, you know what? You either have a use case scenario for it or not. If I didn't use it, I wouldn't want to invest in one of these, but I do kind of want one now. The one that I looked, where was it? Was it the best case? I don't know if it was the best case scenario or the all access pass. It might have been the best case scenario. I like that one right there with the fade ano. I mean, they all look good. You know, this one here at the very bottom, or that one, is that a sandblasted? Sandwashed. Yeah, like that would be a great companion, you know, for the monochrome carry. If you want it to match, would match this just fine. Anyways, I know the chat's probably like, ooh, pry bar carry. Don't judge me. Okay? Okay? Ed B says, there he goes. Teasing again. If I give everything away in the live, would you watch the video? Some might. Some might not. Lone Star says, Pam does not wear makeup anymore. Well played. Bluetooth Blade says this edge is a ghost or something like that. I'd have to look. You're talking about the motto for Spyderco, the edge is a ghost. What does that even mean? B Devious says Rollo Sage 5 Rex 121 or Para 3 15V. Ooh. Hear me out. Hear me out. Neither one of them get the benefit of good corrosion resistance. Spyderco makes both. So, when Spyderco makes the claim that their Sean Houston heat treat process on 15V yields the best wear resistance of any cold work steel, that means that includes their own Sage 5 Rex 121. Let me show you what I mean. If I were to look up Spyderco Para 3 15V, one of the options that pops up is going to be Spyderco. And I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, so this is what they say. This elite sprint run expression of the Para 3 proudly showcases a blade crafted from CPM 15V, an extraordinary material that offers the highest wear resistance of any cold work tool steel available today. I didn't say that. They said that. Now, if I was to do a Google search, is Rex 121 a cold work tool steel? Yes. Rex 121 is considered a cold work tool steel, specifically classified as a high speed steel with exceptional wear resistance. So, if I was to look up Spyderco Sage 5 Rex 121, they're not saying that it's the highest wear resistance. They're saying unequaled edge retention. People get the two mixed up all the time between edge retention and wear resistance. Wear resistance is, is it the hardest to scratch? Edge retention is how long does it hold an edge? Just throwing that out there. Hey, shout out to Dolomite with the $5 super. He says, I appreciate the later start lives. I live in Oregon and get off work just in time to catch this. Thanks, brother. Hey, man, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for tuning in late. I know that for some people that's difficult, especially on the weekends, so I appreciate the support all the same. All right. And Renee Ramon says, I carry the OG Opry and love it. It's nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. It really does. This is the Opry 2. I like it. It's simple. It's not glamorous, right? It's not American made. But it is one of the most useful pieces of my carry. And I did not expect it to be, but it is. The amount of times that I've used this to disassemble knives, to open bottles, it even has a ruler, like a very small ruler, It's only a 3-inch ruler, but sometimes 3 inches is all you need. And we're going to leave it at that. Bluetooth Blade says the edge is a ghost is in reference to the 15V. I thought that was Spyderco's motto. The edge is a ghost, meaning. Yeah. So this is on a pottery mug. I don't know if that is Spyderco's specific to 15V, because I'm pretty sure I could have swore I saw this on other Spyderco stuff. And it's based on a saying coined by Spyderco founder Sal Glesser. Maybe I need to get that mug. I mean, Spyderco is right down the street. I bet you I could walk in and buy that mug. I might have to do that before I move away. $25 for a mug. Maybe I should do that. Jim Miller says, I carry a $35 Countycom titanium pry. I use it quite a bit. It's odd the amount. It's odd the amount of use that I get out of a pry bar. When this was one of those things where I carried it and I was like, I'm never going to use this. I carried it for a week and I used it so much it stays in my pocket. It's just useful. It says that on the 15V Spyderco sticker. I'm pretty sure it says that on all their stuff though. All right. So I'm going to check it out. I've got the Swish buoy box right here. And I'm going to see if it's in here. You know what's funny? The Swish buoy is not made in Golden, Colorado, but it included a sticker that said Golden, Colorado, USA Earth. All right, so it's not in this one that I can see. I could have swore I saw that on more Spyderco stuff. I could be wrong here. It could just be that they keep that for like the super high edge retention stuff. I could be wrong. All right, I'm looking this up now. Is it in any other Spyderco stuff? Why do I have 2 product warranty guides here? Anyways, maybe it is. Maybe it is exclusive to the 15V. I could have swore that it was on other Spyderco stuff, though. Oh, well. I'll look into that later. We'll confirm in the next live stream. All right. Renee Ramon says 3 inches of snow shuts down schools and cities in Texas. It's enough. You're out there with the Pry too. Like, Mr. Mayor, shut it down. I wish 3 inches of snow was enough to shut down the city of Denver. It is not. X-Sailor says, I think wear resistance is the technical term for edge retention. It is not. Wear resistance and edge retention are 2 different things. I'll give you an example of this. Edge retention is quite literally how long will the edge last while cutting. Wear resistance is how much wear does it resist. So, for example, MagnaCut is less wear resistant than K390. But when put to a rope cut test, because MagnaCut has higher toughness than K390, it stands up better over time. It will cut longer, so it will have higher edge retention in that scenario because rope is fibrous, and in extended cutting periods of time, it will wear down knives that have less toughness. So edge retention is quite literally how long will the edge last. Wear resistance is different. Wear resistance could be claimed as the most important factor in edge retention, but they are not the same thing. They're not the same thing. Most people think that they are. It's a very common misconception, but they are not the same thing. Todd Carr says, wear resistance is related to the steel itself. Edge retention has a different value, such as sharpening angle, toughness, wear resistance. Yeah. So edge retention is just how long is the edge going to last while cutting. I feel like this needs to be part of a video somewhere. I should probably make that video. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it a day. We went an hour and 42 minutes tonight, and I had a blast. Got some stuff that I need to work on, and I know that you guys got to get to bed so that you can get your weekend on tomorrow. The next live stream will be an election live stream. There will be no electorates. Your vote will count if you vote. And we'll be voting on the members only Discord sheriff. The first Discord mod will be an elected official. Will they ban me from my own Discord? You can't threaten me with a good time. It's possible. You guys will vote on it. It'll be a good time. That'll happen Wednesday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern, which is 9 p.m. Central, which is 7 p.m. Pacific. Hope you guys can make it. Obviously, understand if you can't. But for some of you guys, I'll see you soon. For everybody else, we'll see you later.